Yeah, basically, for everything in the class, and especially with what's going on now, I have soft deadlines and I have hard deadlines. Soft deadlines are basically like these assignments that I'm assigning you right now are technically due like tomorrow. But as long as you get it in by the 6 weeks, in the 6 weeks, I usually will grade it. But for me, if I'm respecting you with that 6 weeks thing, respect me by trying to get it in very close to that due date, right? Okay, cool. Um, if you do that, it makes it easier on me. After the 6 weeks, you get a 0. That's just how it is. Unless you've got something going on, family's sick, you're sick, something's going on at home, just talk to me privately, and we'll get that fixed. And I'll do a grade change form. So that's just about grading. We use points. There's no percentage. I should have said that in my other classes. I'm just remembering this now. I don't use percentages at all. So like, don't freak out over tests because tests are basically the same amount of. You'll end up like you have 8 or 9 assignments, and they're not hard. Like half of them are like discussion questions we're going to talk about, and you'll have like 9 of them, and those will add up to the amount of a test. So your test ends up equaling maybe like 50% for this 6 weeks, but I've got 2 or 3 other assignments coming up as well, and then that pushes it down. So there's really not percentages, it's all points. So you're just trying to get as many points as you can. The points you get over the points possible, that's your grade for the 6 weeks. It's very simple to calculate. So other than that, we're going to have PowerPoints to go over. We have a lot of PowerPoints to go over. This is business law. I know most of you have had me for more tech classes. This is completely different. It's a different world. So we're going to do a lot of PowerPoints. But they are, honestly, they're pretty fun. I've had a lot of times where a PowerPoint should take 1 day and it ends up taking 2 days. Not because it's that boring, but because we end up getting into a discussion about what's on the PowerPoint, which I'm okay with sometimes. The notes, I usually print them out on a usual basis, and I'll give them to you, and there's blanks, and you just fill those out. I will not have that now because of us being online. So what you'll need to do is download the notes, and you'll fill them. It is still the same fill in the blank, but it'll be on a computer, and you'll do it digitally and turn it into me. Not every time will I require you to do that or turn it into me. Like these first ones I'm requiring you to turn in. I'm not going to tell you when I'm requiring you to turn it in because that keeps you honest. So you don't know, it's like playing Russian roulette with notes. You have no idea when I'm going to say turn them in. So you can, if you really want to, you can, run the risk and not take notes, but that's not going to benefit you in the long run. Because also, you'll make a good grade. This is one of the only CTE classes, for the most part, that's actually going to have a final exam these days. All the other ones are starting to go away because they're trying to give you certifications instead. So that being said, this does have a state final. Do not worry. In the past 2 classes that have taken, you just can't be quiet, can you? Oh, you didn't bring the paper. Out of my 2 classes that took a state final, considering last year they didn't, my kids who make a 70 and above are like 93 or 96%. So most likely all of you will pass except for 1. Decide now. No, he's going to do it. I'm hoping to get 100% eventually. Maybe this class will get it. Well, there's technically like 22 of you for real, but yeah, this is it actually. Look, my CET class has got 3 kids on A week and it's got 3 kids on B week. Yeah.
There's 3 people in my course.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, my teacher told me there's a class that literally has 1 student.
how awkward is that? Like just to talk to one kid, like, "Hi, welcome to the class."
She said it's English too.
Yeah, it's English. Yeah, how there's nowhere to hide. Like you can't
There's no mistakes. Like you can't mess up.
Yeah, you didn't use proper English when you just responded back to me right now. Like that's how. Yeah, it's not gonna go well. Trying to think of other things I need to go over. Food and drinks, you should have ate already, but if you need to eat, that's fine. Eat at the desk. Do not eat at the computers. That's the main thing. You can take your mask off to drink water. So if you want to take a mask break, get some water and drink it for a minute and then put your mask back on. Because don't drink water with your mask, or that could be considered waterboarding, and I don't want to go to jail. So anyway, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I need to do? Anything I need to go over? Canvas. I'll do that real quick. Is anyone trying to get into Zoom? Why is this fourth period so terrible? I guess so, but like no one's on, and y'all are to blame too, because none of you were on yesterday. So. You were, but you were watching the NBA, so there's that.
I'm sorry.
I'm literally.
I had to watch.
I'm recording, and there's no one on here. Like,
Is the participation doing the work or being in the Zoom? Or is it both?
wait, what now?
Like there's.
I'm not making you. I'm not grading you if you end up being on the Zoom or not. Being on the Zoom will help you. It'll benefit you because then you don't have to go back and watch the YouTube video of my lectures because technically you've missed a lecture. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not spending a full class period on this PowerPoint. I'm going to fly through it here in a minute. If you want the full thing, then you have to go to the YouTube channel to watch the full thing. But this is just a preview. So it's not Scott the Goalie. I'm not using Scott the Goalie for my videos. You've got to go to Scott Haddock, the Pitt County Schools teacher, YouTube channel.
When I joined the Zoom call, I muted everything, so I couldn't even hear anything for half the time when you're playing videos. So I was I'm just
Please excuse the interruption, students. At the first period, teacher Vasquez, Hassel, Potter, please report to the media center. Pick up your Chromebook. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, so I guess I'll do screen share, even though no one's here, but I'm going to share the video later. So here is the PowerPoint we're going to be going over. I'm not talking to y'all, I'm talking to the people online, so don't think I'm crazy. And here is your Canvas, which this is for y'all. When you are at home and not here, this is the Zoom link. It's right here. It's not hard. It's right here on the home page. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to find it. And then if you miss it, then you can go to the YouTube channel, and it's right here. And there's Business Law Day 2, and if you go back here, there's Business Law Day 1. Look at this. That was my reaction to Day 1. I don't know what to do.
If we get you to 50 subscribers, can we do a subscriber special?
Yeah, I'll do a subscriber special. It'll be all of my business law PowerPoints in one thing.
Reload the page.
Can you do a face reveal?
Yeah, I'll do a face reveal. Consider I cover half of my face in my recent videos.
When you drop into basketball highlight reel?
There wasn't much there, so I don't think there's much of a highlight reel to be had. I was gonna do the staff basketball stuff. Me and Coach Price and Miss Haddock and Mr. Weston, we were all gonna play on a staff basketball team, and it got canceled because of COVID. And it's really sad. I was a team captain and everything. I was the team captain, and it was very sad. Now, this was for like us playing against other schools, like D.H. Conley staff versus like Chicago staff, things like that. But
I was going to say, y'all come from Chicago.
yeah.
We got, who's the art teacher?
Mr. Clark, but he's not there anymore.
He's not there anymore.
I heard he left.
Oh, you can have a word, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Haddock, who's the rest of our class?
Lead the Dragons.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, worship the Dragons. The only person there who's like athletic besides him was like on the stage.
Yeah. What?
What's wrong? I bet Vincent was there.
I will give them they emailed Coach Houston won't be our keynote speaker, but at least Coach Houston, Mike, the ECU head football coach,
Wait, do you know?
his assistant. So hey, they emailed me back.
Wait, they don't.
They can't do it because of NCAA recruiting violations. Because he's definitely coming to an FBLA event to recruit college football players. I mean, technically, then again, we did have a good amount of football players last year.
What are the odds that we're going to have fall leadership? Or is that going to be?
Fall leadership is probably not happening considering regionals is online, but states and nationals, I'm hoping, is still going to happen. So you still at least get to go to Greensboro. But we'll see.
There's a speaker that I guess I think it's talk about that.
Okay, cool. Nice. Moving on. So yes, everything you need to find can either be found on the homepage, or you can go to the announcements. And for instance, I already have the announcements up for today, where we are going to complete activity 4 and 6, and we will discuss 7 and 8 in class. So it's not a whole lot to do today. You can either go to assignments to find this information, as you can see, or the easiest way to do it actually, and it keeps it more organized for you, is going to modules. So here's like the welcome stuff. Here is basically some, I've just said and basically in like 5 times. 1.01 objectives, your key terms, key concepts, and you can see it kind of continues its way down from there with 1.02. So, and it's a lot easier to kind of go through. So we got a good amount of stuff to cover throughout the year, but it won't be too bad. And we'll do some fun stuff. I told a week that they lucked out and got to watch a movie, but I was wrong and I lied to them. And y'all are the ones who get to watch a movie. You get to watch a movie tomorrow. So, don't get too excited. It's an old movie. It is in color, barely. But what? Yeah, you can work on stuff while we do the movie. But then people at home will need to watch the movie because there is an activity that goes along with it. It's an old movie called Gideon's Trumpet. It's honestly kind of good if you pay attention to it. It's a little slow at some points, but if you pay attention to it, it's kind of good. So, yeah, I'm honestly gonna stream it over the Zoom call. It's not bad. The only problem is I can't ever find this movie. I can't find it on anything, so I have to watch it on YouTube, and it's in a playlist. So you watch parts of it in the playlist. But I will say it's hardly noticeable. They did a good job. There's no ads or anything. Imagine that there's no ads. But it goes through it it like sometimes you can't even tell. It's almost just like you had a little quick commercial break, and there's no commercial, so it just goes to black for a second, and then it like they did it at a good time, like where the screen will go black, and then it'll go to the next clip. So it works out pretty well. All right. So let me go over this PowerPoint fairly quickly. For those online, I'm not recording anymore. I'm probably not even going to post this because we are just doing this, and you need to be doing what's on the announcements. If I do post this, I haven't decided yet. If you're hearing this, I have done it. So, goodbye. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's me. Never mind. I thought there was somebody in there.